Hello everyone, Tricko is the name, and this is my video game news cap for the week. The first thing I want to go into is actually something really interesting I want to talk about. That is MLB The Show is actually going to be on Game Pass this time. MLB The Show has mostly been on PlayStation for the longest time. It's always been a PlayStation exclusive, and because PlayStation loves doing exclusives because it makes money. I still am a huge advocate for like always supporting the exclusivity because that's what make systems sell. Because in my opinion, video game like consoles are all the same. They're all pretty much the same. Besides like Nintendo Switch because it can be portable, but really they're all the exact same thing. If you stripped it down to the basic components, they're pretty much the exact same thing. But what makes it very interesting is the exclusives that you can only get on those systems. And PlayStation and Nintendo know about this, and they actually love to do that. That's why Nintendo does super well, and that's why Sony does super well. And I feel like Xbox is kind of like lagging behind lately, and they just now buying all these studios up so they can get some exclusive rights for some of the cool stuff. That's why Bethesda is really huge, because they are going to probably get some exclusive rights for some of the things for Xbox. But the only thing that's really holding on, like for Microsoft from failing as a pretty much competitor, is the Game Pass, which is a really cool thing. It's like the Netflix of games. A lot of people like it. But the thing is, I wonder if they made a bad move with this because MLB is now going to be on Game Pass. And it sounds really good for consumers. Consumers is great because that means if you have Game Pass, you don't have to buy the game. You just play MLB when it comes out. Awesome, right? Seems cool. But also, isn't it kind of like a middle finger to the developers and the publishers for MLB? Because whenever something goes on Game Pass, they don't get a lot of the credit. Like, they probably get a lot of money from Microsoft, so they probably better have gotten a lot of money from Microsoft for being able to put that game on Game Pass. Because whenever you put something like that on a like live service kind of situation that's like free to play, they get less of the revenue because no one's buying the game, everyone's buying the Game Pass. So now publishers and developers are not really getting the cut. They're only getting like a small snippet of it from Microsoft, while Microsoft is making the full amount because it's more of enticing to get Game Pass now. So to me, they finally just got to be on Xbox, and the first thing they do is make it so that they make less money on Xbox. I don't know, it just seems weird to me. It just seems really weird that they would do that. Again, they're trying to entice Game Pass because that's all they got right now. But I don't know, what do you guys think? Do you guys think this is kind of weird for them to like pretty much do this for MLB? It just got to Xbox, and the first thing they do is make it so that MLB makes less money. But I don't know, maybe I don't know how it works. I don't know how Game Pass works in a way that like how much of the companies get the revenue for it. I don't know, what do you guys think? Do you think it was worthy and worth it for them to put on Game Pass so more people get to play it? Or do you think Microsoft just kind of burned a bridge by pulling off that stunt? It seems like everyone's really love it and no one's talking about the fact that they're making less money off it, so maybe I'm just in the wrong with something. But I don't know. What do you guys think? In shocking news, E3 is free! Yeah! Did you know that? I knew. I'm pretty sure a lot of people knew. So I guess that was a fiasco going on about that. They were going to be like a pay-per-view kind of event. And they had to, and there was a whole bunch of rumors going on about it. But apparently, E3 ran out and like pretty much said like, nope, we're gonna be free, we're gonna be 100% free, don't worry about it, it'll be free. When I first heard about it in Twitter, I was like, well, yeah, no duh. E3 has always been free. Why would you pay for it? Especially now, where E3 is doing worse than it's ever been, and it's getting worse and worse and worse. Like, that would be like the nail in the coffin to make it pay-per-view, that people have to pay to watch it. Like, what would be the point? Like, I feel like those kind of things are stupid because people are just going to take the videos of what people want and put it on YouTube anyway. So no one's going to want to watch it on pay-per-view anyway. They just maybe just one or two people who's going to be stealing the show and putting it on YouTube, and they can go the millions of views. So it'd be good for those kind of people, but it would just be terrible for E3 and all that kind of stuff like that. So I don't know. I wasn't surprised about it. Would you guys caught off guard? Did you hear about this? And what would you do? Would you actually pay for E3? Like maybe it was more worth it. You know, like I did hear that Nintendo is actually going to be attending this E3, which actually makes it a little bit more worth it in my opinion. Because Nintendo has some really cool stuff, and I would love to see some more stuff. So you definitely expect to see like a live stream reaction of the E3 from me, especially when it goes to the Nintendo side of things. Microsoft obviously is going to be in there. That's like that big opening thing. Sony hasn't said much yet. I don't think they will. I think they'll probably just do their own like state of play. It kind of just depends on what like E3 will be like asking them for it. I think it'd be cool if Sony goes onto it. It'd be just like the old times where E3 has like the big three, all this really cool like trailers for all the upcoming stuff. Because I want to see some cool stuff coming out at the end of the year. Because so far there's not really that many games I'm looking forward to. Like there's Resident Evil 7, Back 4 Blood, and Mass Effect. Like that's the only thing that I'm really that excited about it, but you know, it's not gripping me like the other games they used to do, like Ghost of Tsushima and Sekiro was. So I'm looking forward to it. I want to see some news. I want to get some hype. Dropped my controller. How dare he? Like I want to see some really cool news that's going on. I want to get hyped for some of the cool games that are coming out. So hopefully E3 this year is gonna be pretty good, but at least it's gonna be free. So at least we don't have to worry about that. If there was a worry about that in the first place, I don't know. In other news, Cyberpunk is like hitting headlines again. Like, man, I like Cyberpunk. I really hope it works out for them, but I'm getting tired of talking about them, really. I don't know if you guys are tired of talking about it, but I'm kind of tired of talking about it. But apparently it's really big in the news right now. Again, very slow week for gaming news. But right now, the whole headlines is that Cyberpunk is trying to get their freaking stuff together. I'm gonna say a lot of different words, but the stuff together right now to be able to get back on PlayStation stores. So right now they're not on PlayStation stores, and that's because of the quality of what they're trying to do. And it seems kind of sucky for Cyberpunk. Also, it makes sense. They don't want a really bad quality game on the PlayStation Network. So they're trying really hard to get it into like a working condition. So PlayStation can bring them back and like, come back to me, we want you back. And PlayStation's like, no, you guys didn't do very good last time. So I don't know. It seems like they're trying really hard, which is good because that gives them motivation to get their freaking stuff together and make the game actually really good. Other news, they're actually going to delay the progress of the multiplayer. I don't know if you guys know this, but there was actually supposed to be some multiplayer for Cyberpunk, and it was actually pretty big. A lot of people were actually looking forward to it, but they didn't really talk about too much. So even when the game was still in the heyday of hype, a lot of people wanted the multiplayer, and they said that no, we're gonna push back the multiplayer. I want to focus on the story and everything. Well, it seems like there is no multiplayer in sight. It seems like there's not gonna be any multiplayer, which is good. Because one, I don't think anyone would play it. It just doesn't seem really interesting to me personally. And two, they have so many other things they need to work on. Like they really need to work on some other stuff right now, like moving the game and all that kind of stuff. So like yeah, multiplayer probably not needed right now. You can probably focus on other stuff. And then also, the DLC is still happening. There's still going to be a lot of cool DLC, and it's probably going to be free DLC that's going to be on the actual like game pretty soon for the players who are still sticking through it. I'll probably jump back into it when all the free DLC comes into it. I haven't beaten the game. I actually didn't really get that far into it. It's a fun game, and I was kind of like looking forward to seeing like all the improvements for it. But we'll see. Right now, I have so many other games I'm playing right now, so I don't know how much time I'll have for that, but I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. It'd be kind of cool. Also, in other news, this is like kind of like a little small snippet. There's going to be a PS5 and Series X version of Witcher 3 coming onto the consoles. So there's going to be like an improved version. There's so much Witcher 3, and it's a funny thing, and you go and hate me when I say this, I have yet to play Witcher 3. And that's because whenever I jump into Witcher 3, I just don't get motivated to play it. Again, I just don't care about the main character. Like, you guys probably will know about this from me. They say it all the time, but I just don't care about main characters in anything. Like, the reason why I like Cyberpunk a lot more than Witcher is because I can make my own character, and that's me. So I usually like that kind of style. But if it's already a design character that I can't customize, kind of get a little bit put off on it. I know you can customize his hair, you can choose his voice, and like have a lot of choices in it. But I feel like I just want to make my own character. Hopefully, if they make another Witcher game and you can be a different character, maybe make your own character, then I'll probably jump into it. But at this time, I don't think I'm gonna be getting into Witcher. But what do you guys think? Are you guys still playing Cyberpunk? Is it gotten better at all? Now, are you looking forward to the DLC? Are you looking forward to the multiplayer? You one of those kind of people? And are you going to be playing the new Witcher on the new gen consoles? Let me know. Comments below. Much appreciated, please. In other news, I want to talk about Outriders. So far, the servers keep on going down for a lot of players, and a lot of players are not able to play it. Outriders looks kind of interesting to me. I kind of stopped. It's not my style of game. You know, it's like a Gears of War feel to it. And that style was never really interesting to me. Like the look and the grittiness and all that kind of stuff was never really my jam. You know, if it was more like a futuristic neon or like anime style, obviously I would definitely be more into it. But it just seems like not my style of game, so I never got into it. And it's a kind of good thing I didn't, because apparently it's super buggy and it's actually not able to play if you play like 3 people or more. And it's not that hard. It's actually pretty easy if you play it with 1 or 2 other people. And even if you want to play it, the service keeps on crashing. You can't even play it. So I don't know. It just seems kind of weird for me. But are you guys playing Outriders? Did you play the beta? Was the beta a little bit better than the source game that's out right now? Or are you guys pretty much staying away from that game until it gets better? I like Cyberpunk. Hopefully it doesn't take as long. Also, unfortunately, there was a little bit of a delay with Lego Star Wars. We don't have an actual official release date, but it looks like they're working on trying to get it like to the way it should be. I feel like more games are starting to take liberties of what happened to Cyberpunk and now okay with delaying their games. So hopefully we'll see it at the end of this year. I'm expecting it to probably be at the end of this year. I'm not really much of a huge Star Wars fan. I think Star Wars is really cool out of the universe, the lore behind it, like that. But I didn't really care too much about the movies. I would love to see a Star Wars Old Republic. Can we get a Star Wars Old Republic? I would love to make my own character and be in the Star Wars franchise. I just don't care about Legos, really. Fine. Not my jam, but if it's your jam, I'm gonna have to wait until the end of the year. Anyway, that's gonna be wrapping up for me. Not too much. I wanted to get into a little bit story-wise, not too long, very basic, but still a good amount of content that I wanted to get with you guys on, and maybe create some conversations. Like, what do you guys think of the news that came out this week? Did I miss anything? Should I be talking about something else that maybe happened? I don't know. Let me know in the comments below. I would definitely love to talk to you guys about something maybe I missed, or if you guys believe that I was wrong in some of the opinions I was trying to say on some of the news that was going on. You know, let me know. I would love to have a good conversation with you guys in the chat below. By the way, I do like to say I am going to be starting a just chatting session on my Twitch all the every Tuesday. I did one last Tuesday and actually was really successful, and a lot of people actually jumped into it and love to hear my opinion on certain things. If you want to talk about some of the gaming news here that we talked about, then let's talk about it on this Tuesday, and maybe we'll have some really cool conversations. So link in the description below, check me out. But until then, I hope you guys have yourself a great week, and I'll see you guys next week when we talk about more of the video games news. Take care, guys. Bye.